Have you ever found yourself in a discussion or argument that went awry? Like, you thought you were defending yourself at the time, but then when you got home, you was like, damn, I just got this.
Oh.
They was shady. Well, according to positivityblog.com, you shouldn't bother reliving that moment and wishing you had a better response. The article says that that kind of thinking can only hurt your current relationships, and obsessing over a past argument brings nothing but trouble. So, have you ever had a delayed reaction, Garcelle, and wish you had
I would say yes. Like when I leave the Housewives and I'm in the car on the way home, I'm like, wait a minute, that was shade. And then I think of the response in the car on the way, not in the moment. I'm like, damn it.
The best is, now that I watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there's times when I tell Garcelle, let me help you with your comeback. I'll be like, you should have said this.
Yeah, she does.
I literally come here and I'm like, listen, let me teach you how to hood fight. You need a little bit of this hood fighting skill in you. Like, you go too high.
I know, and I leave and I go, wait a minute.
You should have gone low.
I should have gone low. I should have gone low.
Let me tell you.
That's funny.
It's real.
The difference between me and Garcelle is I fight my fights before the fights even happen.
Yes.
Oh.
And I need to do that.
I fight my fights in the shower.
Yeah, you do.
I think of every comeback you could possibly think of, and baby, I got to answer. I got to clap back. She's ready. And let me tell you what the ultimate clapback is of all time. It don't matter what you fighting about. It don't matter what's going on.
What?
And I heard your is trash.
Oh.
That's it. Game over.
Earrings start coming on.
That's it. That's it. That's the ultimate. You tell somebody that they don't got it going on, and it's the end of the argument. Exactly.
Wow.
And that, my friend, is the reaction I want. Especially if you got facts to back it up. You know somebody that knows somebody that knows about it. Ooh, hurts your feelings.
But that works on men, too.
I swear.
Same.
If you say, I heard it was...
The sword.
Okay.
The sword is not it. No. Or you ain't even got a sword?
Right.
Nah.
I heard. You know, back in the day, we used to cut deep, like as little kids.
Yeah.
Like, yo mama.
Right.
Your mama jokes were pretty epic, and I had a few good ones. You know any of your mama jokes?
I love your mama jokes. The other day, actually, Jack said to Jade, "Your mama." Then I looked at him and he goes, "Well, that doesn't work."
That is really
That does
funny.
not work. Because it's my mama, too. All right, you guys. We know it's never polite to ask someone their age, but I saw a post on Instagram that really got me thinking. It asked the question, what age would you choose if you could live it all over again? So I want to know, what age would you pick, Adrienne, and why?
Oh, I wish I could redo my whole 20s.
Oh.
My whole 20s were tragic. I feel like
Your whole 20s are
the whole
tragic?
It was the whole, literally the whole decade. From 20 to 30, if I could redo them, I would. Yes. I think I was so in love with the idea of love. I had a lot of male woes at that time. It's a very old thing to say.
Yeah.
I had male woes. I would like fall in love and just be like, nothing else in the world matters. And I would end up with a lot of heartache during my 20s. So I wish that I could do them over. I think I'd do a lot of things differently in my 20s.
Now, I'm curious, does that have a lot to do with because you were on the road and, you know, a child star so early that you felt like in your 20s you had lived so much that you were ready for love? Because I think in my 20s, I was just having fun.
I was not.
I was double booking.
Weird. I've always been that way, though. I know, I was not double booking.
I was double booking, honey.
Okay, come on, keep it real.
I was double booking, but I was in relationships, like these very deep relationships where I was like, I'm gonna marry this person. I had my baby names picked out then. Wow. I also wish I would have frozen my eggs in my 20s. So there's so much in my 20s that I'm like, why did I waste my time with this loser? Why did I not learn how to say no to things I know I shouldn't have been doing? Why did I feel like I didn't have the strength to say no? Like, I find a lot of the things that I even did, even when it came to men, you know, that I just didn't know how to stand up for myself. There were friendships that, like, I feel were abusive.
Oh, toxic?
Toxic for sure, leaning towards abusive.
Wow.
So there were so many things in my life in my 20s that sucked.
Wow. I wish I could relive my 33rd year.
Ooh,
33 is a
30,
great
very
year.
specific.
That's
What
a great
happened?
year.
That was my
but
best.
That's the year that I was making a lot of transitions. And I wish that I would have made those transitions earlier in my life. But because 33, it's like you're not old, but you're not young.
Yeah.
It's like it's the year that Christ died. And it's something about that 33 that I wish that I could just, relive that year, and some of the mistakes that I was in a bad relationship that I was hanging on to, I wish I would have got rid of that. I was hanging on to this job that I was like, I wish I would have got rid of that.
So hard.
And all of that happened in my 33 year. But my 35th year was much better. It was much eye-opening. And also sex. And for some reason, sex in my 33rd year, I finally, because in the 20s, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just did not know. I was,
Well,
Yeah.
we don't know.
You learn from the Discovery Channel, aka porn, and a lot of that is not helpful at all.
At all.
But by 33,
Legs
it was
up
something
here.
that kind of clicked. It started getting better. So,
Okay.
it'd be 33.
That
What about
Christ
you?
really
year is a
cool.
real thing.
Okay.
I was
It
with
really
you guys
is.
in my Christ year, and I thoroughly enjoyed
I
33.
remember.
Yeah. For me, it would be anywhere between 17 and like maybe 27. Because that's when I left home. I went to New York. I felt free. I was finding myself. I made mistakes too.
Right.
But those years, I felt like I really sort of found myself, and I didn't have like, even though my mom was in Miami and I was in New York, I just felt this freedom and discovering myself and who I was and becoming more American in a way, It was
I love
really
that. So you want to relive it for all the good.
for all the good.
Yeah.